real quick and...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Between the Benches. Welcome to a beautiful Tuesday night. We got Game 3's. Some Game 3's. We got Game 4's. All the Game 4's. Pretty much. And me and Jake are ready to just power on through. We're ready to roll. Right, Jake?
Oh, today is going to be just absolute rolling.
Power hour. This is a power hour.
There you go. I like
episode.
that.
So, wait, hey, let's go. Let's freaking go. We're starting with completely electric, by the way. A completely electric series. It's gone to what I thought it was kind of going to go to. You guys, not so much, but I don't blame you. We're going to go and head over to Seattle. Hosted their first 2 playoff games all time.
You know, that's not the one I thought you would start with, but okay, I'm with it.
We got news today that we got to break. Well, not break. It's been broken. All right. Cale Makar suspended 1 game. Deserved, right? For the most part, deserved.
Absolutely deserved.
After whistle, even if there wasn't a whistle, it was basically after whistle. Just plays over. Nowhere near puck. Just...
Puck was in the net. The netting.
Netting, yes, correct. And Jared McCann shot that puck on a breakaway with Cale Makar trailing. Went up into the netting. Jared McCann, play over, okay. Leisure skate back to where he needed to go. Went around to the corner, and Cale Makar just laid him out for no reason. Aware of what he did, suspended.
Oh, he finished that check 100%.
And Jared McCann on the ice. Honestly, painful to watch. I had to watch the whole video so that I can cut what I needed to cut, put it on our TikTok at BTBFTF, Between the Benches on TikTok. I got like 15 plus comments going right now. People are arguing.
Yeah, there's a nice fight going on there, but
great fight. It's what we want to see. That's what we're here for. So it's just is what it is. That's where we are. Seattle though showing up, man. Also, that got this series physical. This series was not physical. Great series, though. Great series. Seattle putting it all out there. But this was not a very physical series until that happened. It is now physical. It's everything you want. And Seattle performed, man. Overtime winner. First win ever in franchise history. Places freaking electric last night. Electric. Just like the Golden Knights they have an electric atmosphere. Seattle, I'm putting it up there. I mean, they are up there. And the team...
You know, you mean the thing that we're getting, compared to the thing that we're getting robbed of an electric whiteout atmosphere?
That's a fact.
We totally got robbed of it.
Well, we are moving there soon, actually. But, so, just electric atmosphere. And, dude, I cannot say enough good things about this Kraken team. They are putting it out there 100%. All effort, every play, everything they possibly have, it's out there because if they weren't, Colorado would be in control. Seattle had full control of that game, it felt like. I mean, Seattle felt faster, felt bigger, felt everything over Colorado. They get a win in overtime. It's a 2-2 series.
Who saw that coming?
I did say it was going to 7. I did say it was going to... And Colorado fans said it would go to 7. Very surprised to hear that when that influenced my decision to put it to 7, to be honest. But no, did not see that coming, to be honest. Not like it's been.
I didn't see the being called as an actual playoff series coming.
No, neither did I. And I don't know who's going to win, if I'm going to be honest with you.
It's a toss-up at the moment.
It is a complete 50-50.
Especially since, like, the Avalanche have really struggled at 5-on-5 with any depth scoring whatsoever. And the one guy who started to, like, be that, as soon as they actually flex their muscles,
yes,
gone. Just said, I got family matters to deal with, and I'm out.
Yeah, Nichushkin. Also, at one point in that game, last night, the overtime game, Nathan MacKinnon was 3 for 13 in the faceoff circle. That's huge.
Yeah, we emphasize faceoffs this whole...
It's a big deal. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. If you're not winning faceoffs, you have a whole side of a playoff game to overcome to win that game. If you can't win the faceoffs, but Nathan MacKinnon 3 for 13 is not.
There was a clean win right off a draw that was a goal for them. I believe it was McKinnon.
Probably it could have been. It could have been. He ended up doing better over the course of the night, but this was like halfway through the third period. It was 3 for 13. He ended up with like about a 40% face-off percentage. Still not great, but picked it up down the stretch. Did not matter.
I mean, they have been the entire offense. That really just McKinnon and Rantanen.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
They're it. And it's all mostly been from one spot on the ice, that top of the, I guess, right side, you would call it.
Mm-hmm. It's just, without Makar, this is huge. Seattle's got to jump all over this. That's it. They have to win the next game in Colorado. If you could steal that game, I mean, that's gigantic.
Oh, if they take a series lead, you are...
I'm scared for Colorado.
You make them sweat. You really make them sweat, because when was the last time they were down in the series?
Yeah, and this is I don't even know. That's a fact.
Was it Dallas?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So I'm huge. Without Makar, you got to take advantage of this. Seattle. I think Colorado's good enough to win this game all the time. They have the star power. Sometimes it shows during these games. But, dude, Seattle just puts it all... They have so much fight in them. And there seems to be a difference there between Colorado. Sometimes Colorado looks like they're like, hey, whatever, this is a whatever series. And it's really, really not. That, at least in game 1, 2, might have looked like that sometimes. They know it's serious now. And this is a 2-2 series. This is huge. Seattle's showing up. So good for them. Good for Seattle. Good for the fans showing up too. Just electric atmosphere. That overtime goal was absolutely insane. Watching it live was fantastic. And good for them. That's it for me, man.
Yeah, I mean, good for them.
And Grubauer shutting doors at times. That's huge.
Yeah.
At times. Enough, apparently.
I don't know why that top of the right circle shot is just murdering him right now.
Well,
if you really look at the heat map, it's like cold everywhere, spot.
Fair. We're gonna move on from that. We're gonna move on right to another series we absolutely adore. If you look behind us, there it is. I'll move over because you got Dallas. I got.
Oh, can I just do one of these, even though I can't see it?
Yeah. Well, behind my head.
Oh wait, there.
Boom. That is the 2 Zuccarello jerseys, by the way. That's our series of the playoffs so far. Everyone's saying it. It's the truth. TikTok, I put it on there. Everyone loved it. It's been great. Minnesota dominated game. Was that Friday? We talked about it. We don't need to talk about it, but they dominated. Since then, I believe a Sunday night. Yep, Sunday night. Dallas took the game. 2 power play goals on 2 very controversial power plays, penalties. It's on the TikTok again. I post the important stuff on TikTok, guys.
It's the place to be right now.
It is the place to be right now at BTB FTF Between the Benches on TikTok. It's apparently popping. People like it, but I have been putting important stuff on there, narrative stuff that me and Jay care about, stuff that you should care about, stuff in the hockey community cares about. Apparently, Marcus Foligno just getting absolutely just wrecked by the refs for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. Those aren't great penalties, and you probably shouldn't call the one, and you should call the other.
Maybe,
or at least not call the one. I can see the
tripping one was just what
you said a high stick.
What?
I said he got high stick.
He got high sticked, but he got a tripping penalty for that play.
Yeah, again,
makes no sense.
Don't call that.
Yeah, maybe go the
high
other
stick.
way
If you don't see it, don't call it. Which I bet you is what happened.
The whole thing is just made no sense. Both penalties at the time.
A lot of the officiating in this series has not made sense.
A lot of officiating in a lot of series don't make sense, and I'm seeing that narrative all over the internet, just like every other professional sport.
I don't know. I don't know if it's one of the worst years or if it's just.
It's every sport, it seems like. I think it's just we all are so hyper aware of officiating now that it's just like...
I think the last 2 years were way worse.
Fair. No, that's fair. I agree.
I think just this year there's been a little bit of a correction where they call more series as like a playoff series.
Yeah.
And people aren't used to that.
Fair. No, that's fair.
But then there's open ones where... Because there's also... let's face it, there's a lot more new young referees at the moment with the phase out.
Yes, correct.
So they don't know what they're doing really, playoff wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one, was it Devils game that everybody's got 10s?
It happened in this series.
Yeah, I know it did, but I'm saying like that
Now,
one was.
granted, the games were over at those times, but the Devils series, there were 6 minutes left in the game. You're going to limit that team to 3 lines now with 6 minutes left, so now they have to recycle like that.
That game wasn't out of hand.
Well, it was 5-1, and it was pretty.
No,
much
I'm saying like it wasn't physically out of hand.
Physically out of hand, no.
Like the only time you start just handing tens is when
2
people
minutes left, maybe.
It's when people are just going full
Yes.
vigilante, and even when you're like, the message sending hit happens, and then everyone goes nuts.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can't get control of them.
Yep, and in that series there was, Timo Meyer had words with Adam Fox. One push.
Yeah, that one was ridiculous.
Ejections.
Yeah, those
Dumb.
Those should not be ejections.
Absolutely obscure. Don't do that. Get that out of the game. No one likes it. The narrative's all over the place that refs and game, and it's stupid. So it is what it is. Now, you can't... there's not too many times in this playoffs where you can make that a full excuse, like, oh, this team didn't do it because of officiating. There's enough time in a game where you got to still make it happen. This is one of those games.
Maturing in sports is no longer ref blaming.
No, it's a fact. It's a fact. Yeah. 100%.
We all do it at one point, but when you grow up, you learn, listen, there's more than enough opportunities regardless.
Yes, and that's how I treat it in football. In football, you cannot go and blame one call on the game, because how many downs do you have a game? How many possessions do you have? You got to make something of that. It's not just, it does not come down to one down.
Like the only time that I can see it happening, and I guess you're going to know why I say this, is like if there's, like, yes, you had the whole game to do things. Correct. But if it comes down to like a game-breaking penalty at the end of a game, like in a situation.
Yes. If this was a dumb penalty in overtime in a playoff series.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or even just like a review on a goal that shouldn't have been, that's where it really makes a difference. 2 penalties during the game that turn into power plays, turn into goals that are bad.
Yeah.
Is it unfortunate? Very unfortunate. Do we look at it, say ref better? 100% we say that, but
yeah, like
that's not the game on the line. Minnesota should have been better.
Yes.
Jake Ottinger played a great game. Stonewalled when he needed to. Minnesota had chances.
And Minnesota's got to know to stay out of the box. That power play has been killing them.
It has. And Dallas has taken advantage of that.
Absolutely. What are they, like 80% this series? I don't know the numbers in front of you, but it feels like it.
Feels like it, 100%. Yeah. So Dean knows it. Dean knows it. The dudes know it. Got to stay out of the box. And Pete DeBoer knows where he's at the moment. He knows every power play makes a difference in this series. We take advantage of that. And he said it, and they do. And that's as simple as that. This is a 2-2 series. Phenomenal series. Back to Dallas. Let's see how it goes. Boom. Let's move on. We move on to another great series. Vegas, Winnipeg. Jake said it. We were robbed of some whiteouts. Vegas won.
Well, okay, we weren't robbed. The games happened.
And the whiteouts
We were robbed of
the atmosphere.
The atmosphere of a team that's winning and, doing well.
Quite frankly, might not have business being in the series, but is sort of in the series. Now, I think star power, health might have caught up to him a little bit. Maybe Connor Hellebuck playing like 75 games in a row caught up to them a little bit.
Hasn't happened in a long time.
Hasn't happened
62 games, I believe, is still... 60 games? 60 or 62 games is still like the cap of regular season games played and winning. At least, Marc-Andre Fleury was the last one, and that was 2009.
Yeah. So... but hey, I mentioned something last episode. Chandler Stevenson took over that one game, right? It was game 2. Took over a game, won faceoffs, said this series is mine, or this game's mine right now. Has had 2 points in each game since. Has been a large part of this series, and quite frankly, is my player of this series, hands down right now, where we're at. Dude has taken over the series. Has taken over the series. Extremely underrated. Great dude. Good for him. And Mark Stone's been there. Eichel's been there.
I think just based on the last 2 games alone, even though I know, Winnipeg lost the overtime game.
Yeah.
But Mark Scheifele was an absolute animal.
100%.
Until, I don't know, did he end up coming back? Is he healthy at the moment? Because going into the boards and went down the tunnel.
I have no idea. Not a clue.
Like, yeah, I think he might have tested and come back, but I don't know if he's like, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, oh, day to day.
Yep.
Cut out the one game, and then you're out.
So, I mean, just Vegas has the power, man. And we were concerned about Winnipeg's health before the series even started. And maybe that could be catching up to that.
Morrissey's definitely done for the playoffs.
Morrissey's
Even if they make it through, that was probably some
loss.
kind of ACL or ligament injury.
Could have just been a dagger. Winnipeg's fighting against so much more than just Vegas, and it's unfortunate. But it's how the cookie crumbles, and that is where it is. They limped into the playoffs a little bit.
You kind of expect it as a team that limps in as a wild card versus top seed.
I'm glad they showed fight. I'm glad they played a great game.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't get swept, and there was at least a good game and a whiteout.
100%. And you know what? Talk about series we might be glad didn't get swept, but unfortunate. Boston, Florida. Ekblad still didn't play Game 4.
I believe he's coming back this game.
Yeah, very likely, but I think it's way too late. It just is what it is. Boston's Boston. Florida was a wild card team. Ekblad out Game 4. It's a 3-1 series.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't think... Now, this one's going to sound weird, but I don't think Bob played that bad.
I'm okay with that.
It's a 6-2 game.
Now, Bob didn't take over game. Bob can take over game.
But your first start back in a while, because Lyon had the entire stretch run.
Yeah.
He was kind of left out to dry. He didn't. If you watch the goals back...
Yeah.
And even, the play, but he'd make a great save. And you're not going to hold the rebound on a lot of them. They're like weird pad angles or guy right in front of the net or tips.
Yeah.
And the defenseman just like, hey, I'm not going to take this puck, and they're going to get the rebound.
100%.
He was left out completely to dry.
Unfortunate. But again, I think the whole thing for Florida, man, it's just, what are you going to do?
Well,
you got to win 3 straight games now against Boston.
And the fact that they're murdering Gudis.
Yeah.
They are absolutely.
Do you see Marchand and Gudis?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Gudis is all over, and Marchand does not care. Taking it.
Because they want him on the ice.
Still scoring, doing the things.
They want him on the ice because they are killing him.
Yep, 100%. Boston's just way too big. Too big, too everything for Florida.
They're too Boston.
Too Boston. They are too Boston. No Ekblad.
Say hello to the episode title.
Yep, to Boston. Let's just move on from that series, man. It's just, Florida, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. You're not winning 3 games in a row.
Dom, we just put those clip reels together, right?
What?
All the clip reels from last year's NFL draft where we look stupid.
It's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's move on.
Don't say something that's going to get you in trouble again.
Yeah. The Rangers and the Devils. A 2-2 series now. It went to MSG, Madison Square Garden. Devils won both games. Honestly, Devils had no business winning game 2 or 3. Won it in overtime. Game 4 was a different tone for me. The Rangers did not do what they needed to in game 4.
Not at all. But also, besides they didn't do bring their actual game.
Correct.
How do you let them in 2 straight games continuously run Igor and blow a tire into his knee at least 5 times in that second game in MSG?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, can't let that happen.
If Igor gets hurt, you are done.
Done.
How do you even, not even that it happens. The person's still breathing after they do it. Like Meyer in game 3.
Yes.
So you let it happen once, and now it happened 5 times in the next game because they know. Either that guy's got to sit in the box with ice bags on his face.
Yes.
For the next 5.
And you're sitting in the box with ice bags on your hands.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
For the next 5-ish minutes.
Yep.
Or now it's just I'm drop kicking Akir Schmid in the knee and have fun playing with AHL call-ups.
Facts. Well, they could put Vanacek back in.
That happened to him too. That's the point.
Fair.
That was the point of the statement. Is I'm going to do it to whoever it is, because.
But game 4, dude, Rangers just they never put in a clean offensive break-in, transition, just none of it was clean going across the neutral zone into the offensive zone. Just none of it was clean. They did not look in control.
One thing on that,
it was unfortunate, yeah.
Because that's Lindy Ruff's specialty.
100%.
Is blue line defense.
Settled in every single time the Rangers wanted to move through the ice. He was settled, the team was settled in, and just never happened for the Rangers. Just never happened.
Yeah, I mean, like, it kind of flipped. Like, Lindy remembered who he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had his moment.
Yep.
Also, the home away thing still holds.
Stupid. Yeah.
For whatever reason, they're better on the road.
Yep. Now goes back to New Jersey, so we expect a 5-1 win by the Rangers, I guess. That's where we're at in the series. Who knows? If the Devils could win a game at home, I don't know what happens with this series.
You mean also still on the road, but at home?
Yeah, it's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, Devils are back in this series. I still need to see. I still need to be convinced by them that they can win a playoff series.
They took home ice advantage back, 2-2.
It's facts. Yeah, I mean, Kreider still has more points than the Devils' entire set of goals for the playoff series. Like, it's still tilting in the Rangers' fashion for me. Devils might have some momentum if they can carry that game 5, if they can win game 5.
They haven't really fixed anything in the zone, though. They're just doing better at keeping them out of the zone, which is what the Devils kind of did their season on, which is what we expected to happen, and then didn't do it the first 2 games.
100%. I mean, I don't know what else to say with this series, man. The Devils haven't changed too much for me, like you said. I still need to see so much from the Devils to convince me. And the Rangers just need to do better, for the most part, for me, I think. Way better than what Game 4 was. They're letting it slip a little bit for them.
They're pulling an old Leafs where they're not going to change how they play depending on what they're seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we move on?
Yeah.
All right. Edmonton, LA Kings. 3 of 4 games have gone to overtime. Crazy. Leon Draisaitl has been on the ice for every goal.
I saw that.
For the Oilers.
That's nuts.
Nuts. Obviously making the difference in the series.
Well,
did
you see what happened in that last game?
What happened?
Their coaching decided to do coaching.
Fair.
They started double shifting both Connor and Leon to mix up both those 2 lines to make it like 2 separate lines, but also 1 super line.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 lines in 1. Because there's 2 different super lines.
That's what you have to do, though. You don't really have a choice.
So there was like the Hyman, Draisaitl, Connor line, which did okay. Mm-hmm. And then there was the Evander Kane, Connor McDavid, Draisaitl line, which was unreal.
Yeah.
And, then they did shifts with their old lines.
Let me check. I want to see what we have. Connor McDavid, 3 assists last game. A plus. Oh, that's one of the points I wanted to bring up. Leon, Connor, other guys, other forwards. Evan Bouchard.
Oh.
Had great games. Great games. +3 on the plus-minus chart for Leon, Connor, Evan Bouchard. Right? 1 5-4. Scored goals. Okay. Great game. Good offensive game. Darnell Nurse with a -1 in this game. That's a difference maker to me, man. You're paying a dude $9 million. This guy's got to show up when he's got to be there. Got to make a difference in a direction. You can do this.
We're doing this.
You can do this. Go for it. I'm going to let you just... You can take off if you want.
It's funny. It's funny how the playoffs, like, no matter how bad you try to mask your issues and your problems and what your weak points are, like, you can get Ekholm out at the deadline, your effective 4th and 3rd lines.
Yep.
Somehow, though, your weak points tend
Ekholm
to get...
+2, just
exploited in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it comes right back to the $9 million man and Darnell Nurse.
Yep.
Who, on that Anze Kopitar goal, didn't even look like an NHL player. Yeah. Didn't even look like a minor league midget player. Because what was he doing on the entry? What was he doing on the dump-in? Or the broken play? Like, he was so out of position that he had to make that weird, like, try to smack the puck, which he missed, and just got absolutely dummied.
Yes.
And that's the only way to put it, is he was so brain dead that he just ended up making more mistakes, compounding it, and getting dummied.
Yeah, facts. Also, just for the other side, Kevin Fiala is back for the Kings. Gigantic difference maker. First period, it was all Kings first period. Kevin Fiala first period. Took over every time he was on the ice.
And with Fiala,
Yes.
they actively looked like they're exploiting Stuart Skinner's rebound control issues from the first games. Because who did he? I think he had the assist on the one goal, one of the first goals.
He had the assist on first, and I believe the second. The first one was a legitimate assist. The second one,
the shot off the pad. There was a shot off a pad that was right to the spot.
That was him.
They were shooting for rebounds the whole start of the game.
Yep. The second one was him making an effort play above the defender that he was against to poke the puck to a fellow teammate for a goal. It was a great play. It was a Kevin Fiala play.
Yeah.
And
we miss him in Minnesota.
LA missed him until now. So this is still, and also time on ice for the Oilers. Connor.
30 minutes, right?
30 minutes.
Fuck.
More than any defenseman.
That's just nuts, though. Like 30 minutes.
It's nuts.
That's nuts.
More than any defenseman.
Like I told you, they were double shifting the crap out of the two of them.
Leon, 28 and change. Evan Bouchard, who had a great game, 28 and change. Dumb. 3 guys made a difference in this game.
Bouchard was on the list of dudes, by the way.
Dudes. Yeah, he's a fact. It's a fact. He is a dude. One of our dudes. And so, it makes a difference in this game. We have one series to talk about, Jake. One series to talk about. Series popping off. TikTok loves this series, I've learned. I love making TikToks about this series. It's been great. Feedback has been phenomenal. And quite frankly, they give us enough ammo for everything. Toronto, Tampa Bay. Toronto up in this series 3-1. Okay, won the last 2 games in Tampa Bay. You know who had control of those 2 games for 90% of the time? Tampa Bay. Hands down, had control of both of those series. John Cooper said it. Even maybe Clown Show Keefe could have said it. Wouldn't be surprised. Everyone knew it. Everyone watching it knew it. Commentators knew it. John Cooper knew it. Everyone knew Tampa Bay had all the control in these series. Toronto
it's not
won.
Like Keefe is doing anything special now versus game 1.
He's not.
He just fixed the lineup and stopped being a moron.
Yeah. Now,
like he just literally said, "Oh, hey, good players, play."
Yeah. Facts.
In the way that you're supposed to.
Yep.
Like the setup that you're supposed to.
Yep. Since we've last talked, Braden Point went to the boards. Apparently, he's okay. Don't know how he doesn't have 2 broken collarbones.
He was holding his ribs on the afterwards.
Yeah, it's just awful. Apparently screaming on the ice in pain, Stamkos said.
Well, that's probably why he's playing. He probably broke ribs, and he's playing with broken ribs.
Very possible.
That's possible.
Very possible. And then Stamkos and the team responded. Stamkos gave Austin Matthews his first ever fight. Stamkos was an animal, by the way.
We're gonna credit him for having a fight on that one.
Sort of, kinda. It's again on the TikTok.
Getting punked is more like it.
Getting punked on the TikTok, yeah. Right now. But Toronto wins. Game 4. Tampa Bay. John Cooper, I just watched his press conference. John Cooper said it. They just kind of settled in and sat back a little bit. They were up 4-1 going into the third period. And they just kind of sat back too much. And John Cooper said it too. He was like, we sat back too much, way too much. Can't be doing that. Toronto, 3-goal third period. And you know what? I will say, even the goals, though, it's not like Tampa Bay gave them those goals. They were still reasonably tight goals. But they can't sit back. You just can't sit back like that. John Cooper knows it. I think this can still be a series. But this is maybe the best chance Toronto has had in, like, forever.
Well, they exercised one demon.
What was that?
It was 4-1. They came back from 4-1.
They can't do that? Is that
No, that was the score that they led
Okay.
Boston by in that game.
Fair. Very fair. And also, though, just so everyone's aware, because I saw a bunch of it, okay? And Jason even turned to me and was like, oh, Toronto's up 2-1 in this series. I was like, Jason, Toronto's been up 2-1 in this series every time for the past 4 years.
I don't think they've ever had 3-1, though.
No, I don't think they've ever had 3-1 either.
Or maybe the Montreal.
Maybe.
Maybe Montreal.
Maybe. Now, Tampa Bay is no joke. You just don't... John Cooper's still the guy on the other side. Tampa Bay, these are still guys on the other side. Forwards, defensemen, Vasilevsky. So, we will see.
Well, see, again, this is the no excuse year. You had every reason to win the series. But it's not like we've, made the point about John Cooper and, you can't... He's going to have the guys right.
Mm-hmm.
But Toronto has the advantage. We went through it in everything besides coaching.
It's a fact.
And goaltending.
That is a fact.
Like, there was no excuses. So, should they win still?
Yep.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
whether they do the Leafs thing.
100%. 100%.
Well, one away.
Yep. We'll see. We will see. You have 3 games, right? They have 3 games to make it happen now.
Yep.
If you can't make it happen one game, then you got the next game. If you can't make it happen the next game, then you're losing in a game 7 against Vasilevsky. We've been here. The dumb Vasilevsky. He would win in a game 7. So don't do that, Toronto. Don't blow it there.
No, they're taking his eyes away pretty well.
They are. And there's some good goals, man. Deflections, tight. I mean, all the goals in this series are pretty tight.
Well, they addressed the issues.
Yes, 100%.
Again, it's not. They weren't recorded on this network, but we've addressed numerous rants about they don't know what their problem is. They don't really know what their problem is.
Yeah.
We say the problem.
Yep.
But with Achari and O'Reilly, they fixed the problem, and McCabe.
Yep. Yeah. That kind of rounds it out for us. That rounds out our episode.
Well, I think you have to touch on it, just why we're not.
Oh, okay. All right. I will. All right. Okay.
Because by the time... Okay, we're not talking about Carolina and the Islanders, because the time this gets uploaded, it will be... There's a good chance it'll be totally out of date.
100%.
So why go on a whole tangent about it when it's could be over by the time this gets uploaded?
Currently 0-0 in the first period of Carolina and the Islanders. If I'm going to be honest, if I had to give you some advice to the people on how this series goes,
One
if
word.
not tonight, game 6. It'll be
the
done.
whole series you can sum up in one word.
What's that?
It's mistakes.
Facts. Yeah. Islanders aren't winning 3 straight against Carolina right now, I don't think. It's just kind of a feeling I have. And, yeah. Could be closed out tonight. We'll see. If not tonight, maybe the next night. So.
And the next...
And then if not that time, game 7. No one hates a game 7. But probably that night. Okay. Let's call it. Power hour. Done. Where are we in the hour?
33.
Halfway through. Gotta love it. Power half hour. Thank you everyone for listening. Again, right now, TikTok blowing up. BTBFTF. That's the handle. Instagram, Between the Benches FTF. Twitter, BTBFTF. Follow them. You could always listen to us on YouTube, which you're probably at already, at For the Fan Network. We have fun things coming up. We have an NFL draft special, which both of us will be on.
They're fun.
So much
I
fun.
highly recommend it.
Best production we ever did 2 years ago. So much fun. We are way more set up now than we used to be.
Yeah, hey, I finally have a camera in front of my face.
Jake has a camera in front of his face. We will have some drinks in front of us. We will have the NFL draft board in front of us. We will have content in front of us. Trivia. Me getting absolutely roasted and exposed. Also on TikTok.
Yes, you are. For playing those clips, you're going to have a rough day.
It's okay. I'm okay.
They're
I'm
bad.
ready for it. I told Will, I was like, Will, post it, put it up there, show the people. I'm going to try to... They were great clips. I made some good content.
Well,
okay?
you had a good most of the first round.
Great.
You just can't talk about the AFC North.
No.
You can't do it.
Or I can because it's so clippable It makes great content, apparently. And that's what I told Will. I was like, you got to post that stuff and then open the floor back to me so that I can do it again 2 years later. So, great show. Tune in on Thursday night on this YouTube. We will be live.
Yep.
These are not live, though they are recorded in one take, but not live. That will be a 4.5 hour, something around there, live show. Great time. It's a great time. And the draft should be wild. So, tune in. Great time. And
don't miss it. It's highly recommended.
Highly recommended. And let's go watch this Wild game.
Yeah.
Wild game. What else we got tonight? Just so the people know what we're looking at tonight. What's
all about schedule? the dudes.
All about the dudes. All about the dudes. LA and Edmonton as well.
Oh, see, I love that series. I do.
Great series.
I am locked into that one.
100%. Everyone, have a great Game 5s. We will be back posting Thursday a new episode. Probably be posting just as we're getting up to that draft show. Draft show. So, let's get it going, everyone. Thank you, and have a great couple days.